What's up, dudes? In today's, well, I shouldn't say in today's tutorial, this is the only tutorial I'm ever going to do, but I mean, everyone else says in today's tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to fly helis. I am on a private server, so keep that in mind, I guess, I don't know. Alright, so, let's get started. Let's get to know the controls real quick. Load. Alright. Let's bring up all the menus. There we go. So, IAS studs per second, I think that is. The max on most helis, I think, is 450 before it starts freaking out. If you go too fast, your propeller will just pop off. That's not good in most cases. I don't know what this is. I've never fooled with it. Never fooled with this. Don't think I care. Doors are a thing. Not on the little bird. Z to enable weapons. F to fire. R to switch. Probably shouldn't have said that as I shot it, but it's whatever. You do have fuel, but I mean, unless, you know, your fuel tank is damaged, that doesn't matter. You will not be in the air long enough to see that run out. Taxi mode really only matters for the Hind, and I have never used autopilot because I don't think it actually works. M for flares, and what am I missing? Oh yeah, propellers do damage. Don't jump into a propeller. I don't know why that's uncommon knowledge. Okay. With that being said, we're going to get into a fly tutorial, and then it's going to be a combat tutorial. So before we continue, I should note, don't really trust the voiceover to explain how this works. The keyboard is on the screen, and the hand motions are on the screen. I really am not good putting it into words, you know, how flying a helicopter works, but I think I presented, you know, that well, at least. One thing that I will say is, use your collective as a level. Think of the carpenter tool a level, right? As one side goes up, the bubble goes to the left. Just keep your bubble in the middle. Think about it like that. I don't know. Alright, we're gonna fly the little bird. And I'm just going to make this up as I go along. Ow. Alright. So we're just going to look at the controls real quick. We have, well, you can see that for yourself. As I said, the landing gear isn't really important, nor is taxi mode. That's really for the Hind. We can get to that later in the video. Wow, that was loud. Okay. So here's how camera motions work in third person. I don't really care for them. I don't think, you know, it pushes enough steering power towards the heli. A and D is going to rotate your heli while the camera is really going to steer it. That's why I prefer third person, because you can get a lot. You could get quicker motions, quicker steering motions, I find. I'm going to demonstrate how the rotation actually works. So we're going to get low here, and we're going to dodge this little cliff right there. And we're just going to stay rotating, and then we're going to dodge the tree. See? There we go. Alright, we're going to gain a little bit of altitude right here. And we're going to come right back around and gain some more altitude. So you can build up speed and then aim up and gain altitude and trade for speed. It's not recommended in, you know, heli-to-heli PvP, but it is something to note. Maybe if you're like doing a base raid or something, you need to get out of there quick. I don't know. As you can see, I just tried that again in third person. Didn't work as well. I'm aware I didn't really move the mouse, but moving the mouse too much could spiral the heli, so here we are. and we're just gonna... So I want to note what I did there, right? Instead of turning directly into the helipad, I turned away from it, and that's a great way to kill off a lot of speed, is to turn the opposite way from where you need to land. So now we're going to check out the battle physics of the A6 Little Bird, AH6 Little Bird. We have an MRAV in the city that we're just going to blow up. It's really, helicopter PvP is just a lot of diving and shooting. So you see, as we're shooting, and I have to scream because I didn't mute the sound, we're just sort of going in towards it. And in most cases, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, a lot of times you build up enough speed to actually get away from the stinger. And that was a horribly, like, dangerous nosedive I just did, but that just goes to show these are armored helis, and you don't really need to take them, you know, so seriously. You don't have to, you know, baby them, right? But yeah, that is the battle showcase for the Little Bird, and taking our landing. We're going to head over to the Huey now, and just wait for that to load in. There we go. We're going to check out the flying mechanics of the Huey. It's roughly the same thing, and when I say roughly, I mean it's actually exactly the same thing, but just a bit of a bigger helicopter. So we're going to dive in and get some speed. And one thing I do recommend doing is just tilting to the side and trying to take a few fly arounds to the map. You get to learn, you know, your speed, distance, and hell, like I know stuff. No, in all seriousness, you learn your speed, your distance, and your stopping power. We're going to take a big dive here, and we're just going to come in for a smooth pickup. Now, when you dive, like I said, your collective is like your level. So when you dive and you're gaining a lot of speed, you want to lose a lot of collective. And we're just going to go up, and I'm going to show you now a side dive, which is sort of just holding S and A or D, and that's just going to drop you right down to the side. Now, this is preferred, actually, in PvP because it doesn't expose your entire propeller, and it's a lot safer when you have to manage, you know, speed versus bullets, right? And we're just going to come in for this big landing right here. And there we go. So like I said, landing in third person is a lot easier because you could see where you're landing, right? And that's about this, and we're going to forget that the Huey has doors. There we go. Alright, now on to the battle mechanics of the Huey, which, yeah, you got me beat here. It's a Spitfire, you know, it's a giant hunk of metal that shoots about 40 missiles at you. Have fun! The MRAV is in the city, and what we're going to do is take a little fly around, attempt to aim, but the Huey's not something you really aim with, I find. It's, if you see a person, you have a missile, but 1 + 2, right? So there we go, you can see, no need to take aim because we shot about, what was that, 5 of them, and, you know, we pretty much got that thing dead. That blew it up. End of story, really. It's a giant flying machine that has missiles. There's no need to aim. Don't overthink the Huey. Do not overthink the Huey. Alright, we're just going to take that little landing because I don't know how this thing got so damaged, but it is pretty damaged. Okay. Now on to my favorite helicopter, the Mi-24 Hind. Wow, this thing is a beast. This is the most powerful weapon in the game, in my opinion. Well, not in my opinion, hands down. I mean, there's no other, you know, comparable weapon, really. Automatic explosive turrets, 3 of them, and 24 S8s? 16, 24? One of the two. Alright, so we're going to low fly because a common misconception with the MI is that, you know, it's a far distance, not up close helicopter. That's a total myth. You can get as low as you want with this thing. It's almost really as nimble as a little bird. They say it's the most difficult one to fly. I think the Hind is, to be honest. It seems a lot stiffer than the MI. Alright. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a big spiraling nosedive. And that's about the most unsafe thing you can do because that can actually flip your heli. But it is good for in a PvP situation where you don't want your propeller exposed, but you need to lose a lot of altitude and fast. You can kind of rotate your mouse, do a little spin spiral, and drop yourself right down. Just don't hit the ground. That's important to remember. Alright. Beyond that, the Hind is about the same thing as all the other helicopters. We're going to come in for a very low dive. We're not going to hit that tree. There we go. And we're just going to go in right between the branches, or right between the palm trees, and right over the building. There we go. And that's about as simple as it gets. I should note you are going to want to remember, you know, when you land, to put your gear down, as I hopefully do right here. There we go. And we're just going to come in for a little landing. The Hind can be a bit of a challenge to land, but if you're not landing on a pad and you're landing on a base, switch on a taxi mode and just straighten yourself out. I forgot to showcase taxi mode here, but you know what, that's not even flying. Alright, and now we're going to showcase, you know, without even needing to be said, the battle mechanics of the Hind. Now, the MRAV isn't even going to survive the machine guns, so we're just probably going to throw the Hydras at something that's totally random. Alright, there we go. Yep. That's powerful. And like I said, the MRAV didn't survive, so we're just going to throw the Hydras at something totally random. Now notice I am making very strong nosedives with the Hind. Be careful if you're doing a base raid, because that giant tail on the Hind is going to hit a AA tower, or it's going to hit a sniper tower, and it's just going to ruin your day. Don't hit the bush, don't hit the bush. Yep, and that's about it. As far as the Hind's concerned, it is a very powerful weapon. It's a big helicopter. And as for the DeLorean, let me get a cup. Let me just pour me some Coke. All right. Well, let's see. It's a car that doesn't drive. It flies. It is a flying car. It's a flying car. Wait, you can make it do a loop. Yeah, there we go. That's about the only. That's like the only good thing it does. It's like the only cool thing you can make a DeLorean do. Sorry. Well, that, and it's like the best thing to get up to the cube. Anyway, that's the end of this video. See you guys later.
Okay, dude, I did the tutorial. Can you stop bugging me now? Aiden! Oh, he's asleep.